This is a little virtual boards go up, please, where you will do the problems that I give you, and then I'll pop the answers up, and you'll check it and be like, oh yeah, I got this. I can do partial derivatives. So the first, okay, so I'm sorry. For all of these problems, I want you to find both first partials. So for this one, it's f of x comma y. So I want you to find both f sub x and f sub y. So you can go ahead and do this one. I want you to find f sub x and f sub y. Go ahead, hit pause, and do it on your own, and then come back. All right, the first one, I treat y as a constant. So that means this y cubed is a constant, and I just derive with respect to x. So what do I get? Power rule on the x, 8x to the 7th, and then the y cubed just comes along for the ride because it's a constant. Next one, for f sub y, I now treat x as a constant, and I derive with respect to y. So I get a 3 from the power rule on y, and then I'm going to write my x to the 8th, and then I will write y squared. And that's it. Hopefully, you're like, ah, I could do these partials. Okay, so next one we're going to do is f of x comma y equals x to the 5th times sine of y. Go ahead, hit pause, see if you can do this one. Here comes the answers. Bam! X to the 5th times sine of y. What do I do? F sub x, 5x to the 4th is the derivative of that, and then this just stays the same. F sub y, I take the derivative of the y piece, which is cosine of y, and the x to the 5th just stays the same. Hopefully you're good with that. Next one is 3. So this is f of x comma y equals x to the 4th times y minus 5y cubed. Go ahead, hit pause, see if you can do this one. Here comes the answers. So my answers are 4x cubed y and x to the 4th minus 15y, not cubed, come on, squared. Okay, so why is that? Hopefully this one makes sense. It's like the ones up above. This doesn't have any x terms in it, so it's constant with respect to x, so its derivative is 0. So the total derivative is just that thing, total partial x, I should say. And then if I'm doing the partial y, this x to the 4th may be confusing. Well, if I were to do the derivative with respect to y of 10 times y, it would just be 10. Just like the derivative with respect to x of 3x, what's the slope of that? It's just 3. So when we treat x as a constant, when I'm doing partial y, then, and this y here only has a power of 1, then this is the constant, just like this 10 is the constant and this 3 is the constant. So the derivative is 3, derivative is 10. Derivative of this math with respect to y is x to the 4th. And then this is just some power rule. So hopefully you go with that. Here comes the next one. We are going to do f, oops, let me write 4. F of x comma y equals x squared plus 3xy minus y squared. Now let me just interject to say that I'm doing these problems with the intention of teaching you how to do Jacobian matrices when we are solving nonlinear systems and differential equations. And this right here and the next one are ones that are going to show up. So I'm very intentionally doing these because they're the ones that we're going to see later. So see if you find partial partial x and partial y for this one. Here come your solutions. Hopefully for f sub x, you got 2x plus 3y. This 2x is power rule. That should be good. The 3y is like what we were doing up here, right? I'm deriving this with respect to x, right? So the y gets treated as a constant. So I get a 3y just like my explanation up here. Then, same thing with the f sub y. I get the 3x from the derivative of this because this is the coefficient for the y minus 2y power rule. All right, so the next one is super important to what I am building this video with the intention of helping you out with. This is number 5. and I'm going to change some variables. I'm going to go f of theta comma omega. It looks like a W, but it's omega. It's like a little bit of like a curled in W. It's like curled right there and there. Although that's what my W's tend to look like. But I want you to find, oh, sorry, we're going to do 6 problems. Let's do f of theta comma omega is just equal to omega. Find f sub theta and f sub omega. Find both of those partials. Hit pause, do it. Okay, here come your answers. One may seem silly based on what I've asked you to do, or what I've done so far, but there are no thetas in this. So the derivative with respect to theta is just 0. Change theta, this thing doesn't change, so the derivative is 0. F sub omega, the partial omega, is the derivative of this with respect to omega. Since this has a coefficient of 1 and a power of 1, when I do my power rule, I just get 1. So this, number 6, is your last one. I'm going to do f of theta comma omega is equal to minus sine of theta minus omega. So hit pause, do this one. Here comes the answer. All right, if you got f sub theta is negative cosine theta, that's because sine derives to a positive cosine, but this is already negative, so the negative comes along for the ride. And then there are no other theta pieces, so it's just minus cosine theta. And then the omega partial derivative is this derives away because there's no omegas in it. And then what's the slope of this thing? It's -1. So if you are good with that, then you should be set up to be able to do the partials that I need you to do in the immediate future in order to learn how to do non-linear systems of differential equations. See ya.